My name is Donna Yeargan. I run DKY Consulting and put together the partners who are responsible for our workshop today. So on behalf of everyone who has contributed, I want to welcome you to Magnolia, to the campus of SAU, and to what we hope and believe will be an interesting, informative, and maybe even fun presentation. There are several people and organizations that deserve our special thanks. Look at me, I changed slides. The National Sheep Improvement Center provided the seed grant for the program. Windrock International and the Central Arkansas RC&D Council helped to provide the match for the seed grant. So if Annette Pagan, who is the Director of U.S. Programs for Windrock International, and Bruce Leggett, Executive Director of Central Arkansas RC&D, would please stand. We'll save our recognition to the end. Bruce is back in the corner. Among other things, these two organizations, using a USDA time grant for socially underserved farmers, made it possible for Dr. Ann Wells to be with us today and be one of our speakers. Help me thank Annette and Bruce. I'd also like to recognize the USDA Strike Force Initiative. Mr. Charlie Williams is here. Charlie, if you would stand. Charlie's with NRCS. We also have Ms. Tia Brock and Ms. Tanya Washington with the Farm Service Agency. And Mr. Ralph Harris, who today is here to be our electric fencing guru. He does a lot of other things as well. These folks have been in the registration area with information. Please feel free to visit them throughout the day. They'll also be available on the question and answer periods of the program to answer any questions you might have about the programs that they run. I'd also like to offer a special thank you to Secretary Butch Calhoun from the Arkansas Ag Department for his contribution to the side dishes for our lunch. Mr. Jesse Duckett in the back in the corner. Jesse had the idea for this workshop, stuck with it until he made it happen. And he also secured the lambs through the American Lamb Board that we're going to enjoy for lunch today. Mr. Duckett heads up the goat and sheep producers of Arkansas. Finally, a huge, huge appreciation to South Arkansas University. Brad Stout, director of the Donald W. Reynolds Building, for this lovely venue. To Robbie Taylor with the SAU Grants and Resource Office for her organization, her guidance, and her advice. To Julia Nipper and her team at the SAU Small Business Center for helping with the registration, to the SAU Ag Ambassadors for their assistance, especially as sous chefs, to Dr. Jeff Miller, who is the chair of the SAU Department of Agriculture and who graciously agreed to partner on this event and then further agreed to provide the lamb, to cook the lamb and many of the side dishes for our lunch. I think they've probably been at that since about 4 o'clock this morning. In addition to Dr. Miller's talent for cooking, he's also earned a degree, a master's degree from the University of Tennessee and a PhD from the University of Arkansas. Since 2009, Dr. Miller has been head of the Agriculture Department at Southern Arkansas University. Please help me thank Dr. Miller and welcome him to the podium.
Well, first of all, I welcome you. I think it's going to be a very informative day. This is the first, I believe, of anything we've had like this since I've been here. Can I go now?
Yeah. Sorry.
All right, don't argue with an IT person. So, we want to get more involved in providing things for producers to come to SAU and have programs like this. We have the facilities here on campus to pull it off. This is a wonderful facility. We have the new agricultural building over there, brand new. We just moved in January, and it's a fantastic facility. So I encourage you, if you have any free time today, wander over the ag building, wander around campus. We've built somewhere around $75 million worth of buildings since 2001. So the campus has been totally revitalized. We've got a lot of stuff going on here, got a lot of stuff going on in Arkansas. As Donna Kay mentioned, I have the dubious honor of being your chef. And it has been going on since Wednesday. We started processing the carcasses that Jesse brought down on Wednesday, and going to try to put a variety of stuff out there. I still have the grilling to do, but I've got some legs in the smoker, and we'll grill some chops and some loin and some shish kebabs and give you a kind of variety of lamb choices. Now, most people in the United States have never eaten lamb. Now, we have to find out the answer to that question, or the reason behind that question, and try to figure out what we can do about it. Most people that I know of that have tried lamb without knowing it was lamb really enjoyed it. So I'm hoping that you have a good experience with what I've cooked, and kind of opened your eyes a little bit. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but we've got to get that word out. You know, in the 50s, I talked to, when I was a student at Fayetteville, I talked to Dr. C.J. Brown, and he said in the 50s, there was a pretty good sheep population in the state of Arkansas back in the 50s. And we're quite profitable. And what drove them out then was predation. You know, they just, wild dogs and coyotes, they just couldn't keep up. So, you know, it kind of died off. I'm glad to see it starting to come back. I was at Fayetteville. I ran the sheep unit up at Fayetteville for 5 years. And at that time, we did some research on some English bred ewes. We also did some parasitology work on some Katahdins and some Barbados ewes. And, you know, we ate a lot of our mistakes. And it's good table fare. So I hope you all enjoy your program here today. I will be in and out as cook. I have to go check things periodically. I will be in and out. But before I go, I want to introduce the keynote speaker here, Mike Caskey. And you have your bio in front of you, his bio in front of you, and I won't bother to read that. I met Mike this morning for the first time. We had an hour conversation for breakfast. He and I are like-minded on a lot of issues. We're both dedicated entirely to agricultural pursuits and the pursuit of excellence in teaching and the pursuit of excellence in agriculture. He's a man that has accumulated a wealth of knowledge in the sheep industry. And make welcome Mike Caskey.